Jack. It's nice to be
Hi.
back here. Hopefully people can see our faces this week on Instagram because we've chosen a different layout. Um,
No, it's
so
actually, yeah. Again, on Instagram, it's the same.
it's the same.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
Let's go back to this. I'm gonna see it.
Okay. What if we try this one here? Oh, we're just gonna see one of us. Does that work or not even?
Um, yeah, I guess this is better. But whenever it's always you. Since it's your channel, okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least they see a face this week. So, unfortunately, the system we're using for our live stream doesn't work very friendly with Instagram. So Jack and I are back this week for our weekly Entrepreneurs Let's Do It session. And last week we spoke about marketing. And this week we're continuing in the marketing conversation just because there's so much to talk about and so much to unpack. And we're going to be talking this week about like creative marketing strategies that work and how to figure out which ones to use for you. So we're going to be talking a little bit more practically about marketing this week. And yeah, I have my own kind of view of marketing now, which was very different from before. And Jack, like I said last week, you've always been an inspiration to me for when it comes to marketing because you're really creative in how you go about it, and you try a lot of things, and you use marketing as an experiment, which is something I think we need to be doing more. Because we have this idea that marketing is like this sort of stagnant or like this thing that needs to be extremely consistent, which there needs to be consistency, yes, in showing up. But I definitely think that there's value in giving ourselves more freedom in exploring marketing. So do you want to start by sharing your kind of view and thoughts around marketing in general before we get into practical strategies?
Yeah, actually, for so long, like when I started, maybe I don't know, 15 years ago, working as a freelancer, I thought that since I'm in the marketing business, then I had to know everything, and I feeling anxious why things are not working. But then I realized that this should be the fun part, doing this experiment and trying to find out what's actually working for me and for my product and for my service and for people that I'm helping, more than like having this one channel that can do everything. I mean, the marketing channel. So, and one more thing, that you don't need to make sure that all the channels are working properly. So you don't go and set, for example, all social media pages, email marketing, using billboards. Usually the successful marketing strategies are the ones that have one highlight in their strategy that brings the results to all the other channels. So for example, if you have a successful idea about if we're talking about general marketing, a billboard or a TV ad or a social media advertising on Instagram, for example, then that will bring you all the success to the other channels. The other channels are gonna be supporting channels. So this is one misconception that we have about marketing, that if you have a marketing strategy, a successful marketing strategy is having results on all the channels that we're setting for our marketing.
Right.
And then you can see recently most of the entrepreneurs that are having successful strategies are focusing on just one channel, and I mean one social media channel as well, where all the audience is there. If you want to grow, if you want to make sure that you put all your efforts, all your budget, all your time in one place, is actually more powerful. But to do that, you need to make an analysis to know where your audience, where are the people who are searching for you, who can seem compatible with you, because your audience should be compatible with what you're saying and how you are saying it. But whenever I say this to anyone, usually in the first time they're not comfortable. Why you're asking me
Do this.
to stop sharing my posts on Facebook, or Yeah, actually, it's if it's taking time, yes. If it's taking your effort, yeah.
Mhm.
Unless we have this idea, your idea that you brought last in our last broadcast, you mentioned that if we can bring someone to take care of every channel, right? Yeah,
Right.
if we have the resources to do that and we can make it separately and our brain can be split, because thinking about the way LinkedIn operate is different, or the algorithm on LinkedIn is different than the algorithm on Instagram. This is
Right.
why we should focus not just our efforts, our budget, our time, it's even our mind, how are we gonna split. So this is it. Now we're gonna through later on the creative ideas that doesn't really need a lot of time. It needs just an knowledge to know what we are doing exactly, and then take it from there.
Yeah. I love that. I have a follow-up question on that actually, because I'm a big believer that we need to do what feels good to us, intuitively, and to not feel like we need to force ourselves into any kind of marketing strategies that don't feel good. So what are your thoughts on like finding that balance between doing marketing that feels good for you, but also doing marketing that targets your audience, for example? So let's say I love being on Instagram, but when I do my data research, I see that, my people are more on LinkedIn, for example.
It can be obvious, by the way, like when you do content for social media, you choose Instagram, for example, because you love being there, you need to ask why do you love actually being on Instagram. If you
Mm-hmm.
ask this question, you know that, okay, I love to be on Instagram because the audience there is more fun, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You are on LinkedIn because you have less judgment. You are on Facebook because everyone is saying everything, so it's not really important if you make any mistake. So it's actually this why is very important on social networks. On TikTok, for example, is it like you don't see yourself there because all people are dancing there, maybe, or doing acting,
Yeah.
or just having delivering their messages in a creative way, but yet it's not and maybe branded or whatever. I'm just saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find out, because I saw people on TikTok talking about personal resume, and professional work, but
Yeah.
in their own way. This
Mhm.
is why I said that you have to know why do you love this platform. um, but yeah, you can keep doing that, but if it's not if it's not working, I'm not sure I can love a platform for 2 years after working on that platform and not having any results, any connections. This is something that will affect my connection with that platform. So
Yeah.
it's either knowing how that platform operates, and make sure that when you are consistently working on a platform and making sure that you are getting enough visibility, then
Mm-hmm.
you can switch to another platform, even if it's a platform that you like being on. If it's not your target, I don't recommend being there, because succeeding in the platform where you can succeed will actually bring you energy, time, and money to go to another platform, as we mentioned last time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, the one thing that's really important when it comes to marketing, that keeps me like connected to wanting to do marketing for my business, because like we were talking about last time, we all have
Mhm.
this like secret little dream of not being the ones who do the marketing for our business anymore. But unfortunately, we are the ones who are going to have to even at least lead it, pretty much most of the time. Is that it's really just about being human, and I think we lost the humanness in marketing a lot in the last few years. And if there is anything like a practical tip that I would give, to people, is like just bring the human part back to your marketing and how you speak to people, because that's what's going to stand out right now, because people are saturated. There's a lot of noise out there. They're not People are not listening anymore because they're tired of being kind of, I don't know, I like to say vomited on,
Yeah.
through people's marketing. And when we just bring the human side back to things, it makes marketing actually so much more simple, because when you just think about like, how can I just add value for people today? Or how can I share something that would make someone's day better, or, while talking about my business, marketing can become really simple. And I find personally that I build momentum really quickly when I just speak to people directly, instead of less going through like thinking of just selling the thing that you need to sell, but remembering the human that you're speaking to, that you're going to be selling the thing to.
Yeah. Okay. Now, bringing the human aspect to our marketing is very important, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that some companies are already doing that without, um, I don't want to say without making efforts, but without making the traditional efforts that we know, like bombarding your email and sending a lot of newsletters, and going using the omni-channel marketing, which wherever I go I can see the same face and see the same ad. um, but I think going to the basics is really important. Why are we doing what we are doing is important. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we can definitely achieve that with entrepreneurs, which is one of my missions, actually, to bring the human aspect to the entrepreneurial field and the startups. Every time I meet some person, to an entrepreneur, to launch their business, I help them to put the idea. When we are drafting the idea, the concept, the offer, I always ask, who are you helping and why are you helping them? And
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning, they feel like, I'm not an NGO, I'm a business, so why do I
Mm-hmm.
need to help them? I always say that the process, the operation that you're building, you're actually helping someone. You
Yeah.
don't see it, but by the time that you see it, you will scale your business. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's related to scaling your business, because many companies now who are communicating with people as humans and
Mm-hmm.
not as people to just buy their stuff and add. I don't want to say, it's a bit becoming like Apple trying to do that,
Mm-hmm.
because they are not selling anymore their product. Now you are buying their product even 2-3 years before they create it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they are selling something else, which is they are selling the why they exist. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and many other companies. I only remember Apple because it's always in front of us. Um, but when we're working with a startup, it's hard to say that, because startups want cash flow to
Right.
continue. So what
Right.
happens exactly is that they feel that, okay, I need this cash flow. How can I get this cash flow? Let's go jump to a quick marketing strategy that can bring me that cash flow. And we start sending bulk of emails and
Right.
putting ads and all this stuff without going back to the basics, which is a simple way to do marketing, but it's complicated if you don't really know what you want to do. This is why social enterprises are now rising,
Mm-hmm.
because they are focusing on the social impact. And whenever you focus on the social impact, marketing is very easy.
Right. And like you were saying, I think when you focus on the why, when you take time to really get clear on that, then marketing becomes fun. Then that's when you can really tap into some creative marketing ideas and strategies. Um, so why don't we talk a little bit about that? Because since we had that initial conversation that I always bring back to the table, where you were telling me about when you ran for that political campaign and all
Mhm.
those, we can share a little bit of what you did today, because I think it's really yeah, it's really fun to hear how you approach that. Like my brain has been thinking in a brand new way. And next week, by the way, we're going to do one more session, and we're going to be talking about the power of collaboration. And I met 2 weeks ago in a sort of networking session this woman who creates this incredible like merch for brands to use as like creative marketing tools for their business. So we're going to be talking this week about getting these amazing T-shirts made, so that every time someone becomes a member of the school, they're going to get this awesome T-shirt with like a really nice quote and probably a QR code on the back. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you approach that political campaign with from a marketing perspective?
Yeah, actually, one of the main reasons why I was exciting about the campaign was this. was in a way where I can put all my marketing understanding that is human centered to
Mm-hmm.
actually put it um, on the campaign. And I didn't have this chance to do, to do this with people who are aiming to make a change and not buying a product, to bringing an idea to life and not get a service from you.
Mm-hmm.
It's they are believing in what you are saying, what you are bringing to the world. And that was my focus, and it was really fun because every creative strategy that I have in mind, I was able to do it there. You can't put a QR code as a company and put it on your back and go walk on the street, right? Because nobody cares unless it's related to them. But when you
Right.
do it as a candidate, it was something. I mean, even competitors, I mean, in politics, followers were meeting me,
Mm-hmm.
were saying nice stuff about this, like you are going with the people, having your contact address available as a QR code in a creative way. We want this. What is actually about people is we want this creativity in our politics. We want this open and transparency in our politics. This is what the marketing strategy was delivering. Not that, okay, this is a creative person or whatever. Otherwise, I would have done it to scan and open my party program. I didn't do that. It was
Right.
about connecting with me, going to my Instagram and checking. And every time I see people, I have a lot of friends from that campaign. They were whenever I go in the midnight, I went to the clubs, coffee shops. I had a lot of friends there because they were having fun. And
Mm-hmm.
here is someone who is talking about politics, but in a fun way, and they
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about it. You don't see people want to talk about politics while they are celebrating their, I don't know, night.
Mm.
So that was something that the way we are doing the marketing is also different. It's not just the message. The way
Right.
that we are doing that, it tells something. It says something about you. This is why we care about branding and the way we do, because I see it disrespectful if I want to launch an ad, for example, and it has an typing mistake. It's
Mm.
disrespecting your time, your focus as an audience. So
Right.
it's the same. And then many other stuff. I posted one of the conversations that someone had it for me. It was like a surprise. Someone who spotted me sitting in a cafe in the outdoor cafe, and then he started asking like questions to make me feel like uncomfortable. And
Okay.
then he said that he will share it, and then I told him, okay, yeah, I will share it too. Please send me the videos, and I will share it, and I will make you famous. Um, so I did it. It was amazing, and it went viral because you don't see a politician having a transparent conversation with someone
Right.
and just posting it. Because it's not comfortable. Usually politicians pay the media channels to design how they want to look like, and
Yeah.
so on. So this is bringing transparency. This is bringing like you don't have borders with people. They can come and talk to you. So
Yeah.
this was needed in politics.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, how we do things and why we do it, it's very important. It's not just the message, it's how we deliver that message.
Yeah, I agree. And showing like I love what you just said about that example because there's like the part of let's treat people in a more human way that we're speaking to through our marketing, but then also us showing up in a more human way like you did and sharing that video. And people, that's what people need, because if not, if we're always showing this perfect version of ourselves, essentially we're alienating people. It's like we're giving them this version, this like perfect version that they need to kind of that becomes like the new expectation of what they need to become, and it's just not realistic. And I just I talk a lot about Richard Branson because he's one of my favorite business mentors, and his like signature quote or tagline or whatever is, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. And I really think that that needs to be an approach that we take in marketing, because if you most of us feel really overwhelmed with marketing, and it feels heavy, and it feels like, ugh, this thing that we have to do that we don't want to be doing. But if you sit down with a notepad or a journal or your team or whatever, and you ask the question of like, how could we make marketing this our business so much fun? I think the whole energy can shift around that, and the creative ideas that will come out that will probably have such a bigger impact than the strategies that you're implementing that you think you need to do. um, I think it's the new way to approach marketing, and people will feel that energy also through our marketing. If there's an energy behind it of fun and creativity, and caring, and also of clarity on the why, people feel that there's an energetic thread that goes from the thing that we create when it goes out and to the people who receive it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I also think, until you have the budget to hire out, potentially for marketing, because at some point, yes, you can hire out to help with marketing. But I think when it's you doing the marketing, for me personally, what I found to work really well is to look at where I'm really, like, where my genius is, where I'm really good at, where I thrive. And that for me is in human connection and actually like speaking to people and getting on calls. So that has always been kind of my main and most powerful marketing strategy. So I'm curious, for you, what has been like a marketing strategy that you've done that has worked really well and it's potentially in line with your genius?
Yeah, there's no just one marketing strategy maybe that worked, but in the last 12 years, I remember that the first marketing plan that I set was based on email marketing. And now it's becoming different. By that time, it was like you can send cold emails. Maybe it would work because you're talking about something new. People didn't have any digital marketing strategy, so we were working in that way. Today, the same email marketing is still working, but now it's more personal, more personalized. People are sharing their email addresses to get value from you, so you need to value that thing, and you need to make it personalized. Like, I mean, if you send 10 emails, like manually send those 10 emails for people who really want to hear or to read what you are sharing is more important than sending 10,000 emails as a newsletter, general newsletter to everyone that goes either to spam or to the promotion tab. So email marketing was very important, and how it shifted now today, how we are using it. Now we are targeting, in our agency in Lebanon, we are targeting nonprofit organizations to bring more social, not social impact. The campaign is about, making, helping those organizations to make more impact, or to make more change, or to make better change. So the title of the campaign or is more human, and is more like we are helping you in that way, and we enjoy helping you help other people. So it's different, because for me, and if you ask the team, we love that. We love that we are helping someone who is helping someone else, and seeing them. So now the way you say it, it's really important, because you don't want to end up like selling services for an organization. You are helping those organizations, and in return, those organizations are definitely paying the costs, paying the fees, whatever it is, but it's not the important part of the process. By that time, like 12 years ago, I remember that it was like we're selling a commodity, we're selling a product, like we're selling a website, we're selling social media plan. Now it's not like that. I enjoy the first meeting because I learn about what that organization is doing, and I enjoy when I share a couple of ideas that change the whole structure of that organization, and eventually change like lives of their beneficiaries. So this is the turning point in the marketing. We still call it marketing. It's marketing. Unfortunately, marketing and sales, the terminology is becoming look like it's a fraud, because people are using it that way.
Yes.
So let me tell you how you can make $1 million in 1 week. Oh my God. So when you say this, when you see this in an advertisement, you cannot like feel like you're enjoying doing marketing anymore, because you feel like you're doing the same with your audience.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's something, actually, it's a psychological thing that we need to make sure that we understand before we go to marketing, because we are not doing fraud for our, we are helping them. Actually, they
Yeah.
want me to help them. So this is the difference. And then another campaign was, actually, we went to offline marketing with going to forums, and that is networking. So
Hmm.
networking and marketing is very important, because it brought us a lot of word of mouth, and we used it actually in social media. And now the most important part of marketing is actually sharing your knowledge and sharing some stuff that you're not selling. You're actually trying to help people, and you enjoy when people get that help without having to come to you and buy something. This is
Right.
important, and this is what social media is doing. When we're doing like this live is important, because this is the part where we enjoy doing stuff. And
Yeah.
whenever someone is having a problem, they can reach out to you and tell you, Jennifer, I've heard that you were talking about this. I have a problem and I need this. So whenever you want to work with someone for 1 2 months, definitely it's not gonna be it's not gonna be a free stuff that you're sharing, because you're splitting the costs, you're sharing your time and whatever it is. So this is the way that we're trying to turn marketing into a non uh, traditional sales strategy. And I think that many years later, this was also again change, and like most of the stuff would be free, available online, and then you would be selling some other stuff that really have more value.
Right, right, right. And I think you're right. Marketing has become very sort of spammy and felt like trickery a little bit. And so what I would say about that is just like in business, how we say like find a gap in the market and fill that gap. And then if we go back to what we were talking about last time, ikigai, find the gap in the market or around something that you're passionate about and really good at. But you can also find the gap in marketing, like where are things being done in a way that's just that people are tired of, and
Yeah,
that thing that you're craving to receive, like how you're craving to receive information from companies, start doing that. Like make a shift in the marketing world by doing the thing that the people are actually craving. That's going to be sort of the antidote to what everyone's tired of receiving right now. Um, and what was the other thing I wanted to say? There was something else coming to me based on what you were talking about. I can't remember.
I brought a lot of ideas, my bad.
I There was one thing that you said. There was something that came to me, but yeah, I just think that in general we can make marketing a lot more fun, a lot more impactful for those who are receiving it, and I really believe in the power of collaboration. So I'm excited for us to dive into that next week, because I know that you do a lot of collaboration as well, and it's something that I believe really strongly in as well, and it's the direction we're going to be taking with the school in 2023. And then it's not, the efforts are not all in your hands, and also the other thing that I want to mention is based on what you just said, is when you do marketing in a way that feels good when people receive it, and then you give people a really wonderful experience when they have any kind of touch point with your brand. um, all those people who have had a touch point with you become sort of your walking talking billboards, and so they go out then and share the message of your brand as well. So when you do a really good foundational job from the beginning, so getting really clear on your why and making sure that you're offering value in a human way, um, marketing there's like a ripple effect, and then there's a lot of people actually going out there and doing marketing for you as well.
Yeah, yeah, I see. Actually, it's very important to talk about the collaboration we do, either within the team or with consultants, or with your partners, or with clients as well. because it's essential to have an include or have an common vision when it comes to marketing, because one comment or one reply on social media can destroy all the vision that you were planning
Mhm.
to follow in your marketing. So
Right.
imagine you're sending emails and then one of your team members decided to reply to an email or to a response as if you are selling a product. We feel that, by the way, we when we talk to anyone who's providing a service, or we go to a restaurant or buying a, I don't know, mobile phone, whenever we send to an e-commerce website a message and we get a reply like we are just another client, just another, we feel that it's not the kind of company that you want to work with. Even
Right.
if you're just buying one stuff and it's one time connection with that company, you
Mhm.
feel that it's not where you want to do business, maybe, with, if you're buying anything. um, so that is very important. I mean, when people are chatting, I try it, by the way. Here's a secret. I sometimes go and respond myself to the chatting support system that we have,
Uh-huh.
people just asking about technical stuff. So
Mhm.
I go and try the whole knowledge that I have in communication and being, nice and good with people, and
Yeah.
trying to solve the issue even before they ask for it. I
Yeah.
try it sometimes, and I compare the chat where the client is talking with one of our team. We're just helping, they're doing their job. And when
Mhm.
I add more stuff to the conversation, when you add meaningful messages to the conversation, and they are amazed, oh my god, what is support, this is a great support. Sometimes they are just typing, we can see them typing and we respond immediately, or we go and solve the problem because even they are asking. That is amazing. Imagine you're asking someone to solve something,
Yeah.
and before they finish their question, you solve it.
Yeah.
This is something. I mean, when they get their feedback with the emoticons and the smiley faces, you don't see that in business. When they
Right.
send you out and the support system, it's not usually the case with the most of the companies. Why
Yeah.
don't you bring that? And I see it like later on. I might see a chatting system having music inside, music backgrounds, and having virtual avatars talking or doing stuff. It should be fun. It should be fun. I know that things should be fun, even if it's business. Should be fun in a neat way, in a
Yeah.
professional way. But yeah, you have to have all the knowledge to do that. And I
Yeah.
think that is the next stage. Whenever I can train my team to do that and involve them in my knowledge, they
Mhm.
can also do that. And it would be amazing. Like all the team is doing the same.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the thing is, when you put the effort into the client experience like that, and that same effort in the marketing before, so the thing is there has to be like an alignment there. So like really high quality marketing in like the human sense and like the offering value, and then that same quality experience needs to match in the customer experience. And if that happens, the thing is like people can get literally anything for free now online. You can access anything you want to know or learn, like you can almost get anything for free. But if you offer that level of experience to people, they will pay you for that service or that product, even though they could get it for free somewhere else, because they want to be part of something like that that has
Yeah,
high value and
exactly.
high quality. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is very important.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I
We're
think
talking about collaboration next week.
yes, next week we're going to be talking about collaboration, which is one of my favorite things ever. And I think it's also a really nice way to end this year's lives that we were doing, because essentially this is how this came to life, was just both of us wanting to collaborate and coming together to share our knowledge. And the why of that was just to be able to help in a way, once a week, to people who needed to get unstuck or were needing to take action and they didn't really know what to do next.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it'll be a great way to tie off our lives this year, and I'm excited.
Yeah, same here.
All right, everyone. So thank you so much for joining. If you're watching after, please still comment in the live. Jack and I go back and check and respond. If you want to reach out to us, have any questions, you can find us on LinkedIn. I'm under Jennifer Jane Young at the School of Intuitive Leadership and Jack Jendo at Brain Digits. And we are excited to be back next week. Bye, Jack.
Bye.
Bye.